The Valkyrian battlecruiser, Relentless Claw, hovered in Earth's orbit, its sleek obsidian hull reflecting the blue glow of the planet below. Commander Dravik stood at the observation deck, his forearms crossed behind his back in what his species considered a posture of contemplation. His scaled skin shimmered under the artificial lighting as he gazed down at the human homeworld. "This is the notorious Death World?" Second Officer Lith asked, mandibles clicking with skepticism. "The atmosphere appears stable. No visible tectonic instability. No radiation storms." "Appearances deceive," Dravik replied. "Our intelligence confirms that humans evolved on this world, despite constant predation, natural disasters, and extreme climate variations. They're Category 5 Deathworlders." The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. Deathworlders were rare in the galactic community. Species that evolved under such harsh conditions that they developed extraordinary resilience, strength, and adaptability. And humans were among the most notorious. "Our mission is simple," Dravik continued. "Scout their defenses, assess their technology, and determine the feasibility of annexation into the Valkyrian Dominion." "Commander," the sensor officer interrupted, "we're detecting an unusual debris field in low orbit, Sector 7. Dravik frowned. On screen, the holographic display flickered to life, revealing a chaotic collection of objects drifting through space. The crew leaned forward, studying the field with professional curiosity. "Magnify," Dravik ordered. As the image enhanced, the bridge fell silent. The debris wasn't natural or the result of some cosmic event. It was trash, human waste, discarded satellites, spent rocket boosters, fragments of outdated space stations, and thousands of smaller objects ranging from tools accidentally released during spacewalks to frozen waste ejected from early spacecraft. "They pollute their own orbital space?" Lith asked, antennae twitching in disbelief. "Fascinating," Dravik murmured. "A species so comfortable with hostile environments that they casually discard dangerous materials in their own planetary orbit." The science officer, Pelvor, approached the display. "Commander, analysis indicates some of this debris has been orbiting for decades. The humans navigate through this hazardous field regularly." "Impossible," another officer protested. "The collision, risks alone would kill most species," Dravik finished. "But not humans. They thrive on risk." He turned to his executive officer. "Prepare a scouting party. I want samples." 3 orbital cycles later, the scouting vessel returned to the Relentless Claw with its collection. The items were transferred to the examination chamber, where the science team waited in environmentally sealed suits. Dravik observed from behind the safety barrier as Pelvor cataloged the recovered objects. "This appears to be an early communications satellite," Pelvor reported, gesturing to a boxy construct with extended solar panels. "Primitive, but the radiation shielding is remarkably effective considering their technological level at the time of construction." "And this?" Dravik asked, indicating a cylindrical object. "A waste container from their International Space Station. The containment protocols are minimal." Dravik's secondary eyes narrowed. "Explain." "Sir, they simply eject their biological waste into space. Sometimes it burns up in the atmosphere, sometimes it doesn't." The commander's crest rose in alarm. "They dispose of biological material from their own bodies by casting it into the void?" "Yes, Commander." The examination continued, each discovery more disturbing than the last. The humans had created a graveyard of technology around their planet, yet continued to launch new vessels through this hazardous field without apparent concern. "Most telling is this," Pelvor said, holding up a fragment of metal. "It's from an early orbital module. The exterior shows micrometeorite impacts that would have compromised the hull integrity. And yet they continued using it. They patched it and kept it in service for another decade." Dravik stalked around the chamber perimeter, his warrior instincts prickling. "A species that views potentially catastrophic damage as a minor inconvenience. That treats the vacuum of space as merely another disposal system." "Commander," the communications officer called from the ship intercom. We're detecting an unidentified object approaching at high velocity. On the bridge, Dravik watched as the tactical display tracked the incoming object. Analysis? He demanded. The tactical officer's voice trembled. It's a human spacecraft, sir, but it's not on an intercept course with us. It appears to be collecting the debris. The view screen showed a small vessel with extended mechanical arms carefully capturing pieces of space junk and storing them in a cargo hold. They're cleaning up after themselves? Lith asked incredulously. No, Dravik replied, a cold realization settling over him. They're harvesting resources. The crew fell silent as the implications became clear. The humans hadn't carelessly discarded these materials. They had created a resource cache in orbit. What appeared to be garbage to the Valkyrians was actually a strategic reserve. Commander, the sensor officer reported, voice tight with stress. We're detecting power signatures activating throughout the debris field. They're armed. Dravik's scales flattened against his body in the Valkyrian expression of dread. Initiate emergency jump protocol, now. But sir, the calculations, now, before they detect us. As the relentless claw vanished into hyperspace, Dravik gazed one last time at the seemingly innocent blue planet below. The humans hadn't just survived their death world, they had weaponized even their refuse. A species that could turn their waste into a defensive network was not one to challenge lightly. In his report to the Dominion Council, Commander Dravik would recommend a wide quarantine zone around the human system. Let them keep their death world and its deadly orbit. The rest of the galaxy would be safer that way.